Alrighty, here we are again. This time we got Super Mario Brothers 2, which is the Japanese version, and pretty much known in the States as the Lost Levels. We're going to be doing the one warp category for this one. So instead of taking two warp zones, we're going to be only taking one in World 5. So pretty much be describing what we're doing there. So in the meantime, let's just get to it. Gonna play as Mario here. Alright, so we got this 1-1 here. This 1-1 is actually a little tougher. There's like a lot of ways you can actually mix up here, and the difficulty spikes a little bit more in this game. Just like that. It's all good. I mean, it was bound to happen at some point. I had to get that out of the way, you know. Get the death there in 1-1. It has happened before. There was a time in SGDQ 2017, or no, AGDQ 2017, where Cosmic died in 1-1, but he ended up winning the race against Andrew G and Darbian, so kind of get that out of the way there. So now 1-2, got at the underground level here. We're not going to be grabbing any power-ups. We'll be doing the same thing like we did in SMB 1. Where we grab the mushroom in 1-3 and then set up for the small fire glitch in 1-4. So this 1-2, we could just pretty much stay up on the ceiling here. And then we will jump down here to go into this pipe. And we are done with the level. Alright, so 1-3. This is where we're going to be grabbing our power-ups. There is also the introduction of poison mushrooms in this game. It'll just power down by one stage if you have... actually, not by one stage. It'll actually power you down to 2 stages. So if you're like Fire Flower, and it'll actually power you down to small. And then if you're small, then yeah, you'll just end up dead. So we're going to watch out for any poison mushrooms around. Okay, so as far as one warp goes, this is actually a category extension of this game. There's also a one warp category in Mario 1 as well, where you just take the warp zone and either by clipping into the pipe in 1-2 to go into World 5, or you can do like the 4-2 warp zone. In this case, the only warp zone we'll be taking is in World 5. I wanted to set up for the small fire glitch there, but Bowser was in such a bad spot, so we'll just have to forego that. We'll just do like regular big fire Mario instead. So at the end of each level here, like castle levels in particular, it will do a score countdown. It did not do that in SMB 1, but it does do that in Versus SMB, which is the arcade version of the game. And it has a mixture of both Mario 1 and Lost Levels stages. Wow, how did I miss that? Okay, no problem. We know where our backups are for power-ups at least. I'm gonna go ahead and wait for that plant to go down. See if this is actually set up correctly here. Aha, there we go. So, what we did there, that is a flag despawn, and it actually eliminates the flag going down, and it actually saves 2 frame rules. This was found by GTA's. He was kind of messing around one day, and he noticed that the flag despawned when he was doing a few things. So by testing it out, you hit the vine block, and that sets up a weird property in the game in which it'll kind of despawn another sprite later in the game, or like in the level that is. And yeah, it just saves a little bit of time. Okay, you can actually do the wall jump there, but obviously there is a risk because there's a huge pit and it's very easy to miss it. And also the fireworks, they work a little bit differently in this game. So if you have the last number of your coin count matching with the last number of your timer, if it's odd, it'll give you 3 fireworks. If it's even, it'll give you 6. If you have multiples of 11 in your coin count and it matches with the last number of the timer, it'll give you a 1-up, and then odd for 3 fireworks and even for 6 fireworks. So even if it seems like I'm getting like a 1, 3, or 6 on the timer, it's not gonna affect it in any way. Yeah, we finished the level in the 3, but it's not gonna give us 3 fireworks. So now we're heading into 2-4. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna get my 1-up back. We're gonna bop this guy. Wait a little bit there, get our 1-up. By doing the shell kick combo. I wanted to do a crouch there, but it didn't read it. This is probably the only instance, I believe, where Bowser doesn't shoot his fireballs. But we're done with World 2. We saw 2 bridge collapses so far, and we're getting very close to World 5. So now in World 3, instead of it being a dark world like World 2 was, back in the light. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our fire back here. Okay, that was really close. Alright, so fire is back. We see green springs there. We're not going to be worried about them, because that'll actually send you up into the sky pretty far, and then you'll come back down like about a few seconds later. That green spring is actually used to get to a warp zone in World 3, but it'll take you backwards to World 1. So it is one of those troll warp zones in the game. And now here we are in 3-2, we got a water level. The one thing about this game is, compared to SMB1, is every level is pretty unique. There are no carbon copies of any of the levels, as far as I know. At least in the first 8 worlds of the game. There is also World 9 and Worlds A through D. Those are extra worlds. The way to get Worlds A through D is you have to beat the game 8 times, and you'll see stars on the title screen. So once you get 8 stars on the title screen, you can hold A and then press start, and then it's going to do a loading screen in which it'll load up the letter world. So this game is on the Famicom Disk System, and when we'll see it, like once we get past 4-4, you'll see like a bit of a loading time there. It'll just be just a black screen. So it reads the floppy disk, and it's going to read the next world of the game. So yeah, this game was never released in the US, because apparently it was deemed harder for the Western audience, so it was only released on the Famicom Disk System instead. But as far as this game goes, this was actually... how did I learn this game originally? I think I was playing Lost Levels on the Game Boy Color version of Mario, which is the Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. And this is how I actually first learned about it. Of course, there was Mario All-Stars on Super Nintendo, but I didn't really play that game at the time because I never owned a Super Nintendo. I ended up playing it at my friend's house, like years ago, but we never played this game. But I actually enjoy this game a lot more than Mario 1 because of, like, the challenges. That was my fault of missing the fire flower on or the fireballs on Bowser there. Kind of a little too aggressive there, and I think I jumped a little too high and missed some of those fireballs. Yeah, we got Doki Doki Panic for Mario 2, just with, you know, different sprites. And it's like a dream for Mario that he was in that game. Alright, so we're in World 4. This is kind of like the calm before the storm, so host, if you got anything, feel free.
Alright, so just to remind everyone that we do currently have a number of Perlers up for prizes, and if you donate $5 or more during our Mario and Sonic block, you will be eligible to enter any of these. I did look up, and it looks like the third Mario 2 Perler is called a Sniffit. Then we also have a set of 2 Sonic Perlers. If you get in your donation before 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, you will be eligible to win those. And then we have our grand prize for today. If you get your donation, your $5 donation in before 11:59 p.m. Eastern tonight, you will be eligible to win a Mega EverDrive X5.
Ooh, very nice.
And again, if you donate $5 or more, you are eligible to be in the drawing for any of those.
Yeah, definitely get those donations in. Those are really cool prizes. Also, I ended up dying there in 4-2 because it didn't read my jump input. I was like pushing the A button and Mario didn't jump. The earlier Mario games are pretty synonymous of eating inputs. Like sometimes you want to try to shoot a fireball but it doesn't come out, or you try to jump and it doesn't happen, or you try to crouch or duck, it doesn't happen, like pushing down. I like to call it eat my duck, because like whenever it doesn't register my down input. Alright, so 4-3. This is actually a pretty scary level sometimes, because we're gonna get bullet bills here. And as always, it will shoot in different spots. Thankfully, I didn't get any bad patterns there. Or made it safe. Okay, 4-4. This is actually not a maze castle, but this castle can be a bit gnarly. I think I'm gonna hold off on the fire flower here. There's actually 2 opportunities for power-ups, but one of the power-ups is actually not easy to get. Okay, we're gonna head up this way. Alright, Bowser was actually kind there. He jumped forward. Alright, 4 worlds down. I'm going to play half of World 5 and heading into World 8. So as we see here, this is the loading screen. It's just a black screen. We're just going to wait for roughly 5 or 6 seconds. And then we see the 5-1 title card pop up. So it's basically loading the second half of the game. And this level is actually really long. We see that staircase. You may think it's the end of the level, but it's actually not. We got a little bit of a wind effect there. It actually pushes us to the right, and it actually moves at different speeds as well, even though it looks pretty stationary. Okay, we're gonna try to set up for a super jump here. I think my patterns were messed up. What I wanted to do there is I needed to jump off the Koopa from the left side of it, and then it'll shoot Mario upward. And I didn't have to uncover those blocks to jump onto the ceiling there. So now here we are in 5-2. I'm going to go ahead and grab the fire flower at the start of the level here. It's going to be an invisible block. So there we go. So right away it gives us the fire flower. And here we're going to do a warp zone. And the way to get to the warp zone, instead of climbing the vine, we're gonna do this here. Whip inside the pipe, enter the pipe inside from upside down, and it'll take us to the warp zone area without having to climb the vine. So that is called the devil spell. And what you end up doing there is you clip into the side of the pipe, and then you have to mash the jump button in order to go inside the pipe there. And as you can see, like, the pipe entries are actually going to be on the top there. So even though we're upside down, we can actually enter it from inside the pipe instead. So that is the wrong warp of 5-2. And here we are in World 8. So we're in the last world of this run. "8-1 can be a bit finicky, especially with the Hammer Bros, and then there's like that big jump where you have to jump on the Koopa. You can sometimes miss that. And 8-2, this is actually an infinite loop level. We have to uncover a vine to continue to the end of the level, otherwise it'll be endlessly looping. So we're gonna go ahead and hit that vine right there. And somehow miss the block entirely and fall off. That's okay. We got our 1-up back in the previous level, we're fine. And I think I'm gonna forego the fire flower here. Don't necessarily need it anymore, but it would be nice to have the safety. Alright, let's not fall off this time. Okay, so now we're in the sky here. So I've always had this this theory. Since we're up in the sky, I feel like this is like the beginnings of Mario 64. Because you know how in the last world in Mario 64 is Bowser in the sky, so we're in the sky right now. And once we get to the castle, that'll be Bowser's castle in the sky. So I feel like it's a homage to this game. Alright, bounce off the spring. Gonna watch out for these hammer bros here. Oh, there's actually a couple of blocks up there. In the All-Stars version, though, you would have to uncover those blocks in order to progress. And we're gonna get 3 fireworks for our troubles. Okay, we're on the final level of the game, 8-4. We still have 2 lives left. I did a buffer jump there to make sure I'm able to walk off the step a little easier. Now in the water section. Okay. The blooper went to the right side, that's actually pretty good. We're in the G room. I'm gonna go ahead and uncover the piranha plant there. Now we're in the second to last room. This is actually a maze section. You have to just go on the bottom section here, otherwise it'll continuously loop. And once we get to this really long corridor, bounce out that Koopa, and we're gonna grab this mushroom for safety for the end here. Now we're in the final room. Say hello to Bruce. That's Bruce right there. What a pal. And now we got the last section here. And that's time. That is Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels 1 warp done in 1633. That's actually not a really good time because I had a few unfortunate deaths there, but you can kind of get the idea of how the 1 warp category works for this game. So by that, we rescue Peach, and peace is paved with kingdom saved. Hurrah to Mario, our only hero. This ends your trip of a long friendship, and then we get like 100,000 points for every 1-up that we have. So that is SMB2J. Hope y'all enjoyed the run. I will be back 2 runs later with the Sonic block. I'll be running Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and Sonic 3 Knuckles. So stay tuned for Mario 2, the vegetable one.
Don't be fooled, chat.
And I'll see you guys shortly. Take it away, host.
This game is pretty hard. I tried playing some of it myself, and I did not get very far with it.